Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, Odium? What's up, Green? What's up, Will? What's up, Plant? How are you guys doing? Right. Tonight, we're gonna use Claymore. And let's see here. We're actually fine at 38. Okay, so our damage is at 683. Let's just see at 80. 729. Probably gonna go 725 or 75. Like that. The reason for 10 intelligence is to radon people easier. Alright. I think that should be good. Yo, Isham, thanks for the prime resub for 21. Welcome back, bro. Really appreciate. Antronite, thanks for the resub for 13, man. Thank you, guys. And good evening to people who are joining in. I think we get fall walled here. Oh, they're already in the boss room. Never mind. Little 326,000. That's my plan when Tarnished dropped, honestly. I thought I'd be remaking characters, but I don't even know anymore. There they are. Oh my god. Guess that was a little sloppy. Gonna do Tarnished on Switch? No. Move to Seamless and use CE? Honestly, that's a possibility, you know? Gonna be riding into the sunset with my new custom horse? Yeah. What CE? CE is cheat engine. I don't want to use cheat engine, but if you're going to use cheat engine within the confine of a mod, I think it's totally fine because people are playing a modded version anyway. I think it's different than using stuff like that for the base game, but I mean, people can do whatever they want. I really don't care. Redditor's scared though. Redditor's scared. Why do you want me to play Elden Ring on Switch? That makes no sense. Wait, why do I have Batman at first? Okay, 3 players. I need to reallocate my pots. Maybe painful. The fuck? Oh my god, bro, I got scammed like so hard there. I don't know why I got guard broken too. Yo, for all the cows, thanks for the resub for 29 months, man. Okay, let's take this way. How many players in there? 2 players. I mean, Elden Ring on Switch 2 is gonna be 30 FPS, dude. Like, it's not gonna be a good experience. It's like gonna be inferior to every way to like PC and or PlayStation. I honestly don't really understand why anyone would want to play Elden Ring on Switch. Duskblood, I mean, you don't have a choice, so it's a bit of a different story. The revamped player base, noobs. I guess that you're right, that could be a reason for some people. A good point. You're curious about the performance? I mean, I'm telling you right away, like, Switch 2 Elden Ring is going to be 30 FPS, and, you know, I'm not holding my breath for Duskblood at 60 either, but at least Duskblood, there's still a tiny chance. How much poise do I have here? A lot of dangerous ganks today. We got blendered once already from 100 to 0, and it happened again. Even though I'm picking my shots, like there, for instance, you know, I saw a kill, so I went for it, but sometimes you don't have a choice but to trade for a kill, but man, these trades are dangerous when 3 people are spamming at you with everything they have. Does Switch have DLSS or an equivalent? See, like, I think that's actually why there was a delay for Tarnished Edition. I think that's because they realized they don't have a choice but to implement DLSS on Switch. I think that was actually the cause of the delay. So there's a chance that Elden Ring might actually get DLSS for PC with Tarnished Edition. There's a chance. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a chance. I think FromSoft is going to start implementing some of the upscalers. Native 1080 with DLSS, possibly. I don't know, I mean, you know. Maybe there's a chance that the Switch version is not that bad, but I would not hold my breath. I'd be cautious with my expectations. I think if you play Elden Ring on Switch, you would definitely want to use like 720 or maybe even lower if it has DLSS. And upscale, scale higher, you have a little more blurry, but a little more frame rate if they allow it. Alright, buddy. Bro. This is a joke. Let's just kill his friend. Get this over with. I'd actually parry twice here. I should have ignored his friend. That was more trouble than it should have. The problem with players like that is, you know they're not very good, so you don't really pay them any attention, and you should give them at least the minimum attention, because Elden Ring is just so spammy that if you don't pay attention to even someone who doesn't know what they're doing, who's just spamming at you, you might actually end up dying. DLC has a ton of frame drops on Xbox. Don't know about PS. It's the same thing on PS. The areas with waterfalls, what's the name of the area? You know, like the beige area where you fight like let's say the first boss of the DLC, like the big divine head. You know, forgot the name of that area, but like that place. Yeah, Ballarat, thank you. Yeah, Ballarat. Ballarat, there's like one waterfall in Ballarat. You're like guaranteed to lag like crazy when you fight there. Combo. Alright, now we can get in there. OG, you got good points in combat on Mortar Shell. You like the game, but no hate on your points since it can be janked. Yeah, I mean, it's always to each his own. Like, it's you know how it is nowadays. Like, you have a different opinion, and people are upset because you don't think like them. It's not new, like it's just how it is. But yeah, I mean, people like what they like. It is what it is. Yeah, before I keep going, I need to remember to craft my pots though. Because I don't have enough frost spots, and frost spots are like one of my best tools in invasions these days. Yeah, it's only like midnight and a half here for me. It's not really that late. And if you're on West Coast, it's even earlier than that. Like, West Coast NA is... It's like primetime West Coast NA right now, really. At probably like 10:30. We're probably gonna get a lot of West Coast gamers here. Angled at BS perfectly. Oh, he rolled the right way. He make left him though. Where is he? Where was this guy? Yeah, I don't. He was jerking off in a corner somewhere. You wonder how much From Software learn about optimization? I don't know, man. Again, I would not hold my breath. But you know, if let's say if Tarnished Edition comes out with DLSS implemented, especially for PC, that will be a massive positive step in the right direction for From Software games, because you know, if that has DLSS, that means From Soft is going to start implementing it in the future. And really, DLSS is a no-brainer for any game, if I'm being totally honest. Like, we're not talking about frame gen here, we're talking about upscaling. Like, if you've ever used the DLSS transformer model, I kid you not, it looks better than whatever base game you're trying to play. Because it's smoother and it's sharper. And the image is more than stable. It's like... It pretty much fixes, like, some shimmering and blurriness that you would have in the base game. So, like... DLSS causes input drops. I don't know where you got that. Never seen that or heard about that before. Okay, where is this even though? We're gonna try a respawn. Yeah, DLSS doesn't cause input drops. Yeah, I've never heard that before. It's the first time in my life I ever hear something like that. Oh, there they are. Oh, it's the people... Oh, yeah, we killed them earlier, yeah. We killed them, but it was close. Better be careful. Oh my god, bro. He missed a jump. Oh my god, the timing is so dumb. He randomly decided to do that as I was turning burning him. I backstabbed again. Get out of the way here. We could have backstabbed that blue, but it's pointless. The invasion's over. Extreme input lag and more input drops when you used it in Cyberpunk. That's probably a Cyberpunk problem, if I'm being totally honest with you. I've never seen or heard of any DLSS input drop or input lag either. Like, DLSS does not like cause input lag. Like, you have to understand how it works. Like, first of all, the upscaling render, like, what DLSS does is it allows your PC to render the game at a lower resolution. And so the fact that you're lowering the resolution means that you have more power available, or it requires less power to generate the visuals. And because of that, you have more native frames that you are able to generate. And with more native frames, what that means is your FPS goes higher. And when your FPS goes higher, that means that your game updates on the screen faster. And so the more FPS you get out of DLSS, we're not talking about frame gen here, totally different thing. But when you're talking about an upscaler, it lowers your input lag. It doesn't add to it, because you lower the load requirement on your system. And you're able to generate more out of it. We're talking about frame gen, it's a completely different thing. Like frame gen by definition will cause input lag. It's the nature of the technology. Now, you know, I don't think frame gen is necessarily like bad in every situation. Like the frame gen nowadays is just so good that, like, let's say you're playing a game like, you know, a Skyrim, an Oblivion, like, you know, some single player games where, quite frankly, like a few milliseconds of extra input lag really doesn't change a damn shit. And the game is going to run like so much more smoothly. I think you can definitely justify some frame gen for these types of titles, but like a PvP game, you definitely don't want to use frame gen for a PvP game. But upscaling, really upscaling, there's not really a downside that I can think of. Not with the technology we have now. Again, like, when you're talking about DLSS transformer, like before an argument could have made that you're losing just a tiny bit of visual quality. Like, before, people would have been able to say that. But it's not even true anymore. The image quality for DLSS got so good that it actually is sharp. The image is sharper and more stable than your base game image, which is, I mean, their algorithm got so good, guys. It's just what it is. Was getting crazy input lag, 80 millisecond. I don't know what you were doing, man, but like 80 ms is not normal. unless you were upscaling from 30 FPS or something like that. Use frame gen in all your single player games? Yeah, absolutely. There's no reason not to, really. Sometimes DLSS quality is better than DLAA too. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the transformer model for DLSS is just so damn good that, like, genuinely, like, you could watch some side-by-sides and like, you'll actually be mind blown by the sheer quality of the image. It's quite impressive, really. It's a very impressive tech. Like, basically, the technology for DLSS upscaling has matured to a point where it's very, like, you'd be really hard-pressed to find an argument against it. You'd be very hard-pressed. I think the only argument you can make is that developers rely on it instead of optimizing their game as much as they actually could, you know, because let's say you're a developer and you target, let's say you target a frame rate of 60 FPS for the PlayStation system. Well, you target 60 FPS for the PlayStation system. Actually, I don't think PlayStation allowed DLSS right now, but I mean, PS6 is going to have its own upscaling, so let's just, like, say the next-gen console. Let's say the next-gen PlayStation has, like, some sort of FSR variant of an upscaling, or PSSR, whatever they call it. Okay, so let's say the next version of the PlayStation has some PSSR, whatever. Game comes out, targets 60 FPS. Well, are the devs going to be lazy and target that 60 FPS with that FSR? Or are they going to do the heavy lifting, you know, go through all their asset and try to scrape as many, you know, bits of optimization from everywhere they can? Chances are they probably won't scrape all that optimization because it's a lot of work and a lot of time. So they're going to take the quote-unquote shortcut and use the very convenient technology that has no downside. So I think the only argument you can make against the upscaling is that developers sort of rely on it nowadays. Not all, but, like, you know, let's say some. The lag on this guy. He took my hit like super late. Oh my god, that lag is brutal. That's some of the most brutal lag I've seen. Or latency, whatever. PSSR is better than AMD? I'd be careful about these statements, man. It's like the versions for like FSR, you know, DLSS, PSSR, whatever, like they just keep on improving constantly. So most of the time, the latest one is the greatest one, you know. But as far as history is concerned, the NVIDIA DLSS has always been the best so far. But you never know. I mean. And also there's the Intel version, XESS. And sometimes, you know, I've seen like YouTube vids where the content creator in that vid said that, you know, XESS ran better than FSR for X particular game. So I think sometimes it can be a game by game basis. Like sometimes one will be better than the other, depending on its implementation, I guess. I have no knowledge about game development, but it seems like optimization is a common problem. I think its job is much harder said than done, though. Honestly, it's like you don't want to overdo it, right? Like it's always a balancing act, you know, when you're optimizing. Like yes, there's some things where you can quote unquote optimize and you get a lot of benefit and you're not really sacrificing much. Like for instance, if you do like some sort of and you have an AI analyze your code, right? It doesn't really take very long. AI analyzes your code and manage to like optimize a few lines, let's say. That really doesn't cost much. There's no real downside to that. But if you have to go through every asset that you have and like tweak the textures, like compress the textures, or you know, like rebake your assets to have less make your assets to have less polygon, like no matter what it is, like there's a real like a lot of work that's involved in doing that. And then there's more like intricate stuff, like, you know, managing how the game like stores the shaders, you know, the memory allocation, that sort of stuff. A little bit more intricate. And, you know, take some real dedicated time to go through that stuff. So let's say you're a developer, you know, you can't be bothered. Like let me just say it right there. Like the way most studios work, not all, but most studios, you know, AAA or not, what they do is they'll make their game and then they'll optimize afterward. And so they still have an idea in their head of like what's good to do and what's not good to do. Like they're not gonna just make the game with all their assets like being like super heavy. They're gonna make them all optimized. But you know, after the game is like in, you know, a good state, a playable state, they'll start to trim back like some of the features or some of the things that they've implemented. They'll start to do like optimization passes. And so usually you do optimization passes until you reach your target, because at some point your optimization passes won't really yield you much, because you will have scraped everything that you can scrape that's like readily available. And so if you want to scrape even more than that, it's going to take even more work. And so at some point there's like some diminishing return to optimizing your game. And so like sometimes you can blame the devs for not optimizing properly, but a lot of time it's also a lot of work. We're gonna do that. Okay, well, I don't fuck with that. Stupid fucking spell. Or are you fighting 3 people and they remove your fucking physic? It's like, yeah, well, you can jerk off by yourself if you want. I think FSR image quality has always been bad compared to Nvidia, but AMD released newer one too. Yeah, it's like, I mean, they keep on improving, and also you have to keep in mind, like, DLSS and FSR are sort of like fundamentally different in the way they work. Like, FSR is a solution that works on any piece of hardware, whereas DLSS is specific to Nvidia hardware. And so your FSR is going to work everywhere. So it's a little bit of a different deal. And I don't know if you guys like follow like what's going on with tech these days, but AMD is taking a leap in technology right now, like with their server stuff, you know, like the stuff people hate, like the AI gear or whatever. Like AMD's actually taking a leap right now. They're killing it basically. Oh, the slider was bigger. DLSS 5 is such a controversy. I think people are too harsh. Like, it's a new technology. Like, the first time when they revealed it, it had like way more backlash than it deserved. It's like people are blinded by the fact that they just hate AI, and so everything AI bad. Where it's a lot more nuance than that. Like, there's a lot of things that are bad about it, but you know, it's something like, no matter how you feel about it, like it's there to stay. Like, you're gonna have to start to accept like some of the new tech that comes out, and you might as well, like, you know, start to think for yourself about, okay, well, that one might not be actually bad, you know, this one might be good, and you know, this one I don't like you're gonna have to start to think for yourself about like what are the bad things about it and what are the good things about it, instead of having like just a blanket like I hate everything about it, because you're not gonna be you're gonna be unhappy about this because it's the future no matter how you feel about it. Like, the future we live in right now, and the way it is right now in the future, it's gonna be like it's gonna be part of our everyday life, and it's slowly starting to creep in. And so I understand that there's a lot of bad things that come with it, but I think it's important to learn to appreciate the good out of it. And so when you have a, like going back to DLSS, when you have a tech like DLSS 5, like, yeah, sure, when it was revealed for the first time, a lot of backlash. I don't think it deserved that backlash, to be quite honest. Some of, like, it was definitely, like, not the best. Like, on one hand, I think it didn't deserve that much backlash, but on the other hand, I'm glad it happened, because I don't know if you guys watched the latest event, but they basically went back to the drawing board and got DLSS 5 to look even better. And so the way it looks right now is so much better than when it launched, and that's thanks to that backlash. You know how I feel about like From Software games. Like, people always are upset that I complain about From Software games when they launch, because I have like plenty of feedback, and I point out all the balancing issues. Well, I mean, people kind of complained about DLSS 5 when it launched, and that kind of forced NVIDIA to go back to the drawing board and improve it. And so ultimately, that was for the best. And so the way it looks right now looks way better than when it launched. I think it was, if you guys are interested in like checking it out, I think it was at SIGGRAPH or whatever it's called, 2026. NVIDIA had a whole presentation on it. Very impressive stuff, really. Very impressive. Use AI to generate a girl into your selfie so I don't look lonely. Bro, shut up. That's so funny. I know you're joking, but oh my god. That's hilarious, dude. So stupid, man. It's like, you know, I mean, you guys know, like, the Unreal Engine 5 hate is, like, very real. Like, there are channels dedicated to hating on UE5, like, pseudo-developers and shit. It's, I mean, it's quite something. And, you know, once the wave starts, it takes a while for the wave to, like, to die off. Like, even if the wave crashes, you always have some aftermath. And so that's what's happening with Unreal as well. Like, people hate Unreal because reality is Unreal was not production ready until like very recently, and every developer still use UE5 instead of using UE4. Like, guys, the way it works is like, you know, you have an engine version, and that engine constantly gets updated with a bunch of features, improvement, fixes, etc. And people always want to use like all the latest features. They don't want to use like tech that's proven and that's production ready, and that's Unreal Engine 4. So like, basically, a lot of games should have been using UE4 instead of UE5, because UE5 was not really production ready until like actually very recently. Like, very recently, they had like optimization to the shader compilation for Unreal, and that basically changed everything. And I think from what I heard, it's actually related to an Epic partnership with CD Projekt Red, and I think some of the CD Projekt Red engineers like actually helped a lot with some of the UE5 engine. But you know, don't take what I say with a grain of salt. That's like something something I heard. But yeah, like UE5 like a few years, like let's say like UE5 until recently was not really utilized properly. Let's just put it that way. Like Oblivion Remaster is a perfect example of not like, you know, like I think it used like Unreal Engine 5.3. Like sure, like Oblivion Remaster looks good and all, but man, like that's the reason people hate on like Unreal. It's like so unstable, like frame rate all over the place. It's like, you know, that's a poor implementation. Easy picking. His friend did not even see the host. You gonna play Mistfalls? I have no intention to play that. I'll be honest, I feel like I probably would not hate Mistfall, but I'm not a like it. The more I look at it, the more I feel like it's gonna be very short-lived. I feel like Mistfall is gonna be extremely short-lived, and right now the attention is getting, I feel, is artificially held up by a lot of like marketing funds. Like basically every video you see about Mistfalls are sponsored, and so what will happen when the marketing round ends? Like no one's gonna play that shit, I bet. And even though the game might not be that bad, you know, that's what I think. So I feel like, you know, yeah, sure, like everyone plays what they like, but for me, like I also play things on the channel to, you know, to get some content that will generate revenue, and I don't want to invest myself in something that's not gonna hold up for more than a month, you know. And when I say hold up, I don't mean the game is like dead, but wait, what? Bro. Yo. I'm scared. Oh. Ah! You might actually die like exploding. Alright, we're gonna leave this guy to his other dimension. We're gonna keep this shield here because in case I think the other guy got removed from existence. Let's have the claymore back. All right. Here you go. Well, that first Phantom was scary. It's fucking... The dude is like impossible to kill. At this point, you're more excited for Sky Oblivion than anything else. I mean, that's fair. Honestly, that's very fair. Personally, I'm doing the mistake of being excited for Elder Scrolls 6. I know it's stupid, but I can't help myself. That's the game I'm looking forward to the most. You know that feeling, like you're just excited. You can't help it. You're excited about something. That's how I feel about Elder Scrolls 6. Probably not coming from for another 3 years, but I just can't help it. Looking forward to Fallout 5 in 2037. Bro, that shit's so sad. Dude, Bethesda is so mismanaged, man. It's actually really unfortunate. It really is. Like, you know, like, I get it. Making a game takes a long time, but it doesn't take that long. Like, this is just mismanaged, dude. Cyberpunk 2077 raised the bar too high for you. You feel like Bethesda can't deliver Elder Scrolls 6 at that level of quality and polish. Dude, I actually really like Cyberpunk. Like, I was extremely skeptical about Cyberpunk because I bought Cyberpunk on release. And I don't know if you know about it, but the release of Cyberpunk was so bad that Sony issued a mass refund for people looking to refund Cyberpunk. And I actually did it. I refunded Cyberpunk because I had bought it on PlayStation. Then, you know, like a few months ago, it was on sale on Steam or on... No, I think it was on sale on GOG, I think. And I just bought it on GOG. And I had a ton of fun with it. You know, beat the game, beat the DLC. And the reason why I played through the entire thing was not because the combat was that amazing, because it wasn't bad. The bosses were horrible, but the combat wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. Like the gun balance was absolutely terrible. Like, no matter what I did, like, I could really only do damage with melee, shotgun, sniper, or pistol. But, like, any automatic gun was pretty much pointless. Like, basically, like, headshot with snipers from range, and then shotgun close range or melee. And that's it. But with that being said, the character development in Cyberpunk is absolutely amazing. Like, I love the characters in that game. It's just really well done. Like, you look at characters in Red Dead Redemption, you know, Metal Gear Solid 4, and Cyberpunk is in that conversation as well with, like, amazing characters. Like, you get attached to the characters. You'd think games would be easier to make with all these AI tools that the dev promised aren't using. You have to give it time, dude. Like, you know, like last year AI was nowhere near as good as it is now. Like AI is moving fast, but it's very young. Like nothing gets changed instantly. It's gonna take a while before all this stuff gets implemented. Like right now, like you have studios that are making whatever game, like, you know, pick whatever studio making whatever game. They're not gonna change their pipeline of production with whatever latest technology comes out. We saw there's a yellow back there. We're gonna try something. To that. Okay. Stuck here. Got a blue now. God, I didn't have time to realize what he can. Okay, the host went down here. The host went down. I didn't even see him. This is starting to be quite annoying. I have to move here. God. Such bad timing. Yeah, just a terrible location. The blue was the unfortunate extra that we didn't need. Like, it's possible to kill those two, like, stuck in that room. But the blue, like, in there with the automatic grab weapon, it's just too much. If we were in a better location, it would have been pretty easy, but with nowhere to back up, it's quite annoying. I also thought the host fell off. Otherwise, I would not have kept fighting down there. Would have backed up further. Also, Claymore really not the weapon there either. Like, I know sometimes, like, you know, there's people that are new that are watching, but, like, you know, we switch to any meta stuff, and this invasion is way easier. Like, Claymore is just there for the content, because it's really not the play in any way, shape, or form. Remember when Miyazaki said he and his team wanted to learn Unreal? I don't remember that, no. Never heard of that, actually. Is there any benefit to quality build in this game? Only if you are over-leveled. Like, if you're max level, quality does the highest damage, but in most cases, you'll probably want to use a, I say quality, but, I mean, you have stats everywhere at max level. Let's say at, like, from 200 to 300, like, quality starts to be, like, some of the more attractive option damage-wise. It depends on what you're building. 3 players in there. And Batman again. Like, most of the time, if you're not playing over leveled, it's gonna make more sense to go, like, you know, 80 int, 80 fate, 80 dex, or 80 strength. Or, you know, like, a mix of arcane and either dex or strength. Usually that's what makes the most sense for, like, how much bang you get for your buck. One sec. Dude, there was a fat bug on my desk. The bug that roll con? Yes, actually. Oh, that's Shag fighting Finene. My money's on Finene, though. I feel like we invaded and it's gonna be over probably soon. Oh, I mean, Shag is using double sight. I mean, or no, actually, he has a halberd and sight. Not the most meta stuff. Shag sandbagging? Yeah. Shag not playing toxic? I don't think Shag is toxic, dude. Like, Shag is actually pretty chill. When you talk to him, like, he's just a normal guy just playing the game. Like, nothing special about it. Like Shag is not one of those, like, mentally ill gankers that, you know, spends his whole fucking day, like, just waiting for a streamer with 3 people, like, for whatever reason. Like, he's not one of those. Shag randomly showed you his The Lost Key Kill Clip collection. Okay, maybe maybe I wouldn't have a collection of killing someone. Well, I guess if you care about the game, you know, it is what it is. Some people deeply care about these games. How many players in there? Is he alone? No, there's 2 players. That Shag? No, that's another person. Okay. I wasn't sure if the other guy got a buff as well. Oh yeah, the other guy's getting toward me. I feel like I might be getting ganked here. Actually ate my second roll there. Come on, game. Alright. No. god, didn't expect that. Alright, it's an important kill. Bro, I don't know what it is about this guy, but stupid game. Let's just go for it. Quite sloppy there, but it's alright, we got it. I knew I was gonna get ganked though. The moment the fight started, you could kind of see like another blue in there. You could kind of see that the Phantom was thirsty. That's Among Us move? Yeah. Millions of years of evolution to detect predators. That's funny. No piercing fang. I mean, I'm gonna be real. Like Storm Stomp's just better. I don't think I'm surprising anyone with that statement. I wonder if I could scrap or like remove one of my talisman or change it and still be able to mid-roll. Like one of the either Great Jar or no, not Great Jar. Okay, but we can change favor if we need. That's good to know. 2 players in here. What do they have though? Waiting for me with the physic. I try to be careful. What do they have? No HP? True. Is this seamless? Yo, Cleve, how you doing, man? Watching from the UK today. Had a knife battle today. How do we get down there? I swear this game in the spawns. I'll trust this. Okay, we can go down from here. Interesting. Another paid actor, guys. Only 20 days left. I think Firekeeper said last time that the date we learned about the network test was like 7th of August, I think. Like you're gonna know if you got selected for it. What time is it for me? Almost 1:30 a.m. Yeah, I pay my actors at night because they don't cost as much. And he got rejected. Gonna have to check my email then. Maybe, I thought it was on the 7th that we learned about it. That's what I thought, Gorister. The guy's probably just confused. Ugh. Oh, the loading. It's funny. Oh, with the tongue and shit. BS ASAP. Since I saw him turn off the thong, like as soon as I got up there, I just went for the backstab right from the beginning. I didn't want to let them like gank me, because that's what they were looking for. The plan was to allocate a few brain cells for breeding, another few brain cells for looking at the TV, and then other brain cells for communicating with his friend, but everything got in shambles from there. Or the Divine Beast help for more damage on Stormstone. Bro, Stormstone doesn't even do damage, like it barely does anything. It's not worth sacrificing the fashion. You got the, you know, the cool solitude, like full solitude armor look right now. I don't wanna mess with it. And also ton of status today. Ton of status, like I want to be status resistant. Like the more I play, the more I find it dangerous to use like some of these helmets, you know. Find them dangerous. Because you see a lot of people with status. Veil will be sad. Don't take me by the emotions like that. Is dappled pure meat any good? What's funny is, like, I don't even know still, like, which of the meat are best. Oops. Between, like, I don't even know if the white one has more resist than the cured one. Like, I actually have no idea which meats are the best here. Should probably try at least. Wait. The white one is worth less, but it lasts longer. Okay. You think? Oh boy, here we go. You can see it in description. Oh. Bro, who reads descriptions though? Oh, lasts longer than traditional cured meat. But is this one traditional though? Was it made with traditional methods? Lore Master? Yeah. You got it right. The Lore Master doesn't need to read descriptions. He invented the lore. He invents it as he goes along. That's what a real Lore Master is, guys. This one ain't organic, I'm afraid. Yeah, that's what I thought. Otherwise, the color doesn't appear quite right. Honestly, I'm surprised that so far the game has not been that inactive. Like, we've been finding a decent amount of invasions, surprisingly. Players in there? Players. We missed it. Oh my god. That's actually Elo. Like he's gonna attack out of wake up. Bro. I mean, you can't say I didn't call it. Because we used to use a build with only one buff after the recent monstrosities. I mean, what you call monstrosities were not really good builds. It's just, you know, I'm just trying to switch it up a little bit. But yes, you're right. It is very convenient to not have to just take a bunch of buffs. Gimmick builds. Yeah, basically gimmick builds. Strength will always be king. Honestly, for invasions, I feel very comfortable with Dex builds and magic builds with gravitational missile also, of course. But I mean, you said gimmick builds. It's just that gravitational missile is such a strong gimmick that it kind of works like a lot. Oh wow, he left. Oh, we attacked there. Phantom just left him. Gravitational missile is so fucking dumb. I mean, gravitational missile is very skillless. Let's be, let's make something clear here. Gravitational missile is completely skillless, and it just overshadows every single AoE spell in the game by a long shot too. It's like, when let's say I'm making a magic build, I have to go out of my way and tell myself, okay, I'm not going to use gravitational missile because it's going to invalidate every other spell that I'm using, or maybe not every other, nearly every other. That's pretty much how it, how it works. And if you build your build properly, you can two-shot people with gravitational missile. Maybe not on Seamless where people have Rune Arc, but in most situations, like in vanilla game, like you two-shot players on the right build. How can it be so dumb if it requires intelligence? The million-dollar question. You can two-shot with plenty of mage stuff. Yeah, but gravitational missile is not hard to land, though. That's the thing. But yeah, like, even like a Dex build, Dex builds have a lot of cool stuff going for them as well. Like, I had a lot of fun when I used main hand Claws of Night off in Rakshasa. Like, Rakshasa is an amazing invasion weapon, and Rakshasa swap is one of the better swaps in the game, I think. But, I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. The king of all king is TS, and so... Technically the strongest TS is... Honestly, it's the overbuffed, like, arcane one, where your damage gets to basically 1000 with a trusting sword. Like, that is genuinely, like, the strongest TS. The only issue is, like, if you have someone that is expecting you to have that setup, like waiting for you to have that setup, they can mirror your buffs without having the arcane build. So basically what you get is like the arcane one is gonna buff himself and everything, and then once the bleed proc happens, the strength one gets buffed as well. So now both of you do insane damage, but the strength one does a little more because it's a strength build and he has optimal damage to start with. And so like, you can sort of hard counter the arcane version by kind of mirroring the buffs, even if you're not using arcane. It's kind of the same thing for someone who's using, like, a poison weapon. It's like you'll put on all the poison gear, and, you'll basically benefit from the damage increase way more than the poison guy. Unless he swaps weapon, but, sure you guys get the point. Also easy to stall. I mean... No, it's not. If you're in any sort of closed space against a trusting sword, like, stalling a TS in a closed area is definitely not easy. That's for sure. If you're in the open world, then yeah, sure. In the open world, for sure. Like, let's say you're invading, it's definitely a lot more likely that you're gonna get stalled as the invader than if you're... Or, like, let's say the arena, like the vanilla arena is, like, quite terrible. Let's do this. Bleed guy is annoying. It's always two of them as well. Alright, let's do some elevator play. Can't underestimate, even if they're not very good, you can never really underestimate. And we're gonna do more damage as well. Get some bleed resist here, but go. Bro, that's Elden Ring for you. That dagger guy was dangerous, you know? Even when these guys don't really know what they're doing, like... I die so often to people like that, just because I don't give them the quote-unquote respect they deserve. When I say respect, I don't actually mean respect, but like in a game sense. Let's say I don't respect their setup, let's just put it that way. Still messing with OBS, or it settled down? Did you see any frame drop or anything weird, Chirico? No, I have not messed with it. I felt like I ironed out the stats, and I think I found my fix, but you're telling me that respect the gear, not the player. Exactly, came in the door. You're telling me that there's still issues, though. Looks fine. Okay. Don't scare me. Don't scare me like that, bro. Yeah, we went through a little OBS settings phase where I just tried every settings once again to see what could be causing it, and quite frankly, I'm not sure if it was my VPN causing that or if it was my OBS plugin. It's either one of the two, because right now, as far as like settings, like my settings right now are like, as far as bitrate, it's identical to what I had. So this is the bitrate I always had, like since Dark Souls 3. And since I started doing both YouTube and Twitch live stream. So my OBS like settings have not changed. It's the plugin settings and the VPN settings that I changed. The VPNs might actually start to become illegal in Canada. Or maybe not illegal, but useless. Fucking government is crazy. I don't know why I thought about that, but you mentioned VPN. Wrong weapon. There you go. Remove the buff here. Light roll is going to be a problem. I think... I was about to do running, but it will be as ground. Okay, we're not gonna get it. Okay, I got the memo, bro. Why is that, you ask, Canuck? Fucking... They're trying to pass a bill, and because it's a majority government, there's a big chance it's gonna pass to basically, like, you know, collect all the metadata that, that's out there, like, on the internet for all Canadians, like, and this is a huge deal because this is going to legally force every business that collects any kind of information to basically give that information to the Canadian government. And the biggest issue with that is the security liability that comes with something like that. And it's not about, like, let's say the government that could get hacked. It's like any small business that doesn't have the infrastructure to hold such data would be forced to collect it. And so that's a, you know, I mean, it's so stupid. I can't even begin to comprehend, like, how they think they're going to be able to pass that without, like, trying to be sneaky about it. Because it's so outrageously bad that no sane person would think this is a good idea, because it clearly isn't. And I can see a few reasons why they would want that. First of all, your metadata is basically, like, you know, the ultimate, you know, with your metadata, they can know, like, everything you're doing, you know, like, it's a very powerful, like, control tool. You can monetize that like crazy. I mean, why do you think Meta and Google are making so much money? Like, they sell data like that, you know, advertisement and shit like that. So I'm sure the government could find, like, ways to monetize that, but at what price? And also, like, I think the biggest issue that comes from that is especially, like, in this day and age, like, we're starting to enter a day and age where digital security is going to be, like, extremely important, because it's going to become easier and easier to hack, you know, whatever you want to hack, really, because of AI. So, like, you know, anyone who doesn't know how to code has the ability to operate sophisticated attacks without knowing anything about coding. So that's an issue. And the issue is that a law like that sort of enforces by law small businesses that do not have the infrastructure, do not have the know-how, and do not have the will either to collect that sort of data. And so let's say you have, like, a mom and pop shop who, like, does, like, online transaction, and they're forced by law to collect this information from whatever transaction and whatever, and they need to hold it in a database and then send it to the government afterward. Well, what if that mom and pop shop is not very tech savvy? Or maybe if they are tech savvy, what if what if anything happened and they don't update their software for a year, and let's say there's a vulnerability in whatever software they're using? Like, they're gonna be prime target for stealing, like, you know, for getting all the information that's on their database stolen. And the problem is that, you know, right now, companies that collect information, they have the infrastructure. They have the infrastructure to make sure stuff like that doesn't happen. Not only that, usually the data that's collected is not meant to be, like stored away. Like, very often it's like like, you know, a lot of shops that do transaction, they don't actually collect your data, like, permanently. It's really for the transaction, and then they encrypt it, and eventually they delete it. It's most of the time it's not even shared. So anyway, I mean, I'm not going to spend the whole stream on this, but, you know, if you're Canadian, be very worried about that. To be quite honest, I don't really think you can do anything about it. Like, you know, people say, like, message your MP, but I mean, I don't really believe in stuff like that, so. You have to educate yourself. Honestly, recently I saw a vid by Gamers Nexus who pretty much went over the topic. And so, like, now the topic is on the forefront because the guy is popular, obviously. But Gamers Nexus made a vid about it. To be quite honest, it kind of sums up the whole thing. Like, he doesn't go into too much detail, but it's a pretty accurate sum up, if I'm being real here. Well, you do Duskblood co-op. Well, I'm gonna be playing with Steel, with Gabri, and maybe with Canuck if he plays there, but we don't actually know, like, how the game's gonna play. Like, we don't even know if there's gonna be any sort of co-op. Like, we don't know if we're going to be able to team up against other players or if it's just going to be battle royale all the time. Like, we have no idea. Make JeeNiNe Prime Minister. I think I would be a terrible Prime Minister because I would get assassinated. Because I would not take the fucking... I would not take the lobbying money wherever it comes from. I'd be too honest. And so... I'd probably get killed because of that. You know, you cannot get up there without being corrupt. You know, it's just how it is. Like, no matter how naive you are, like... I know it's a cliche, but it is true that politics is, by definition, corrupt. It really is. Like, I know it's like people, like, you know, roll their eyes when they hear stuff like that, but, I mean, it is true. Like, it's just a reality. Like, right now, for instance, the current government wants to use taxpayer money for, like a railway that goes across like a part of Canada and Quebec, and the company that they want to hire for that railway is a company that got like convicted a few years ago for like corruption, like convicted, like injustice, like, you know, proven guilty. It's like the only reason why they're retasked to do this railway is because, you know, like they're lobbying for it. So this construction company gets to do the job again, even though they're corrupt. And it's not you, like, you know, like I remember like the Olympic Stadium here in Montreal, like I know like stories from construction workers like that I've talked to directly, like some people that worked in that you know, building the Olympic Stadium, like some of the how do you call them? Like, I only know the term in French, but like the not the director contractors, but let's just call them the like the contractors that are on the field that are like they have like a white hat instead of a yellow one. You know, like the guys who basically get to manage like everything. I only know the word in French, so I don't know how you call them in English, but anyway, these guys, like one of the guy was basically like taking the material that was supposed to be used to build the stadium, and he was like sending part of these shipments like back to his lake house. A foreman? Yeah, I think it's a foreman, yeah. But he was basically like taking some of that lumber, you know, like lumber shipment, and he was like sending it to his lake house. And he basically was building himself like a house there, and he was using like the material for the Olympic Stadium to build himself a house. It's a true story. And so like this sort of corruption, especially in construction here, it's like it's everywhere, and it's always been like that. Like, it's not like you know, an exception. It's always been like this, and quite frankly, I don't really see it changing as much as I hate it, but yeah. Like, I think the problem is like very often people are raised in a good, like, you know, let's say most Canadians are raised with good parents in a good environment, and they're honest people, and in fact they're so honest that they cannot fathom that there would be such dishonesty like here. And so you have this level of like being naive that is being abused by, you know, by others. 100% see that. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna be real here, like I think I was in the same boat. Like, I got burned so many times because I had faith you know, and whatever. And then I realized like that's not how the world works. Like, you know, like it's nasty out there. Like once you realize that it's way easier to maneuver in the world. Once you realize there's a bunch of nasty people out there, way more than you think. Always have to be on your guard. It's very unfortunate. And once you have like a family and people you love, well, you have that on your shoulder as well, like because you have to protect them from that. Because you know, like a lot of people you love, they're not going to pay attention to that sort of stuff, and very often they're going to be targeted by these bad actors or whatever. You know, like you can think of like, I don't know, think of like your grandma that's you know, prime candidate to get scammed, right? Like scam artists are always targeting old people. Or, you know, you can think of like any good citizen that's like prone to give money to charity, where like there's a bunch of charities that are basically like just money siphons that don't actually really do anything. Like, guys, let me tell you something about charities, all right? I actually was like a big like I really like every year like I would donate some to charities, and at some point like when I was younger, like I'm talking when I was younger, like I was like, you know what, let me try to, you know, I'm looking for like a summer job and I'm gonna work for a charity, see what happens. And part of the interview for that charity was to do research on the charity. Like the charity, like for the interview, they task you, like after the interview, they task you to do some research on the charity so that you know a little bit about it. And it's funny because it's through that process that I found out that this freaking charity was basically like making so much money. And I was looking at, like, you could actually see it online, like the pay for like the higher ups, like they were getting paid like hundreds of thousands of dollars for this non-profit charity. And the issue is, like, a lot of these quote unquote non-profits, how it works is basically like the charity operates, and all the money that the charity gets from donors, it first has to go and pay the whole operation, no matter what it is. And so everyone in there that has a salary gets paid before any profit are sent to wherever you want to send it. And sometimes the portion that gets sent is like in the single digit percentage. And so like basically 90% of the money that's donated to charity just goes to circle jerk the people that are running it. And that's like one of the biggest scam that's really not talked about. And I'm not saying every charity is like that. Like I've actually when I went overseas, like I saw like a charity that that was run by a single woman, and she was basically a one-woman army, and she was the real deal. You know, that was a real charity, like doing like God's work basically. But you know, talking about like my experience with that particular charity in Canada, quite frankly, I don't even remember the name, but like after a little bit of research, I mean, you can look it up yourself if you're septic. You know, I think it's always good to get a reality check by yourself instead of just listening to someone else. But you know, it's that I never really donated to any charity. Like if I want to do something, I'll try to make the action myself instead. It's just I got this realization, and it's very unfortunate, but that's the reality. That's why I say that, like, we're Canadians, like we're brought up as very honest and naive. But once we get into the real world, like there's corruption and disgusting people everywhere. It's really sad, but it's the reality. All right, let me focus on the invasion here. How many players in there? Bro, why do I always get that stupid Batman thing? Oh, that's a perfect backstab. It's not able to roll that. my god, Elden Ring! My Claymore is not the weapon to put sustained pressure on someone like that. Bro, this game. Alright, Storm Stomp. Almost got me right there. Let me take that. Alright. Actually didn't see him. Just looked away for a second. Okay, there he is. Come on, buddy. Yeah, that's kill. Will there be 2v2s today? I don't think so. I forgot to recraft my big frost pots. Also, Chirico, thanks for the Prime resub, bro. Thanks for the Prime resub for 55 months, man. Really appreciate. Sorry. Even got wood for the fire. All rolled up, all nice and tight and everything. Never realized that. I wonder if the paper is not scrolls, it's also just for the fire. It's to start it. They just burn like scrolls and books. They burn libraries just like in the Day After Tomorrow movie. I think he's gonna enter. There you go. Just to tickle him a little bit. we have here? 3 players? Oh, it's a full gank. Oh, they're still up top. Guys, we have time to think about our ambush. What do we want to do? I don't know. I guess that's that was not part of the plan to bubble up the rat. No, don't think of anything. This rat is just, you know, he has powers. He's special. They're not coming yet anyway. Bubble wrapped rat? Yeah, pretty much. God damn it, my bubble disappears, but okay, there you go. His as well. I was about to say that's unfortunate. Good fight. We missed the ambush, but we still got it. It's alright. Thanks to the guy falling on his own, it was a lot easier as well. Three players, it's one person. You were waiting for me, weren't you? Ooh, the lag is real. Oh yeah. That is some disgusting net. Oh my god, bro. He's so laggy. Oh my god, bro. We are not fighting this guy again. Not laggy, but latent. That latency is unplayable. When you put music when you're broadcasting on your PS5, you need a capture card and you need to use OBS. I think you should do a little more research because that's the type of question someone who has not looked it up whatsoever would ask. If you're watching some of the old Dark Souls 3 Invasion lately, you noticed there were a lot more glitches and exploits back then. Yeah, Dark Souls 3 was pretty much a glitch fest, especially at the end. Nice carpet. Oh, there's a seam here. The carpet is like cut short. They didn't have enough texture to fully encapsulate the whole carpet. Bro, insane fight. A lot was hammered out early in Elden Ring. I don't know about early, but there definitely was way more patching for Elden Ring than there ever was for Dark Souls 3, that's for sure. And the support for Elden Ring lasted a lot longer because the DLC came out like 2 years after launch, which is, I think Dark Souls 3, the DLC came out like 6 months after launch, which is a massive difference. Dark Souls 3 needed patching, Elden Ring needed surgery. Yes, Plant. It did. It did, because Elden Ring needed a different player limit, so I think technically you're right. Like, you know, like the balancing for Elden Ring would not be really that difficult. There's like a few outliers that are really like broken, you know, like talking about like the like, you know, like the dodge Ash of Wars, you know, the light roll, projected eel, the dueling shield, you know, back in blade, blind spot, you know, stuff like that. It's really not too hard to point out the issues, and then, you know, the armor startup, the poise damage on, you know, the second swings. Like, it's easy to name these issues. It would be easy to fix them. It's not a lot of work. Just take someone with a brain and maybe a day of like changing numbers on a spreadsheet. I say a spreadsheet, but in a software. Whereas on the other hand, it would not fix the issue with the game in general, because you still have no fight club because the player limit's too low. And so the problem is really with the player limit with this game ultimately. One player. It's a werewolf. system. Spells that travel miles. Yeah, the lock-on distance, you know, like... You know, the list, like, you know, you need to, like, still, like, sit down and maybe, like, think about everything for, like, you know... If you, like, let's say we were serious about fixing Elden Ring. Let's just pretend like we were serious about it. And we had the power to do it. You know, we would be able to sit down for an hour, make a list, name everything, and then implement these balance changes, because it's really just values for the most part. Just changing values. It's not really hard or anything. Hard to implement, I mean. Which is different than, let's say if you had to change an animation. Changing an animation is way more work. And you can't expect, like, studios to be willing to just change animations left and right. That's different. Or like reprogram stuff. That's another thing entirely. Should make a petition to FromSoft. Oh, I did though. Like I had a feedback video. You know, when the game was like less than 1 year old, I got a feedback vid that got like around 100k views, got a lot of traction, very well received, and it was just a big feedback vid. And quite frankly, a lot of those changes were implemented. You know, people complain about me that I complain all the time, but I actually bring a lot of good changes to the scene because I take the time to do this stuff. But yeah, a lot of these changes got implemented. It's just that there was like a little thing that happened with that vid is that vid was very well received, so much so that a bunch of people sent that vid as feedback to Bandai Namco. And my friend, I had a friend that knew a guy, a higher up at Bandai, and you know, like the higher up knew that my friend knew me. And so he basically said, like, tell that guy to stop telling people to message us. We're getting, like, too many support tickets for Elden Ring feedback. I always thought that was funny, but also disappointing. Because, like, that's our only way of communication, really. And so, like, if you prevent people from, like, sending in tickets, you know? What else do you have left? Oh my god, the lag is real. Oh, this guy's lagging all of a sudden. Oh, shit connection, bro. Not okay, man. Some of this lag. This one was a mix of lag and latency. Not normal stuff. Probably someone oversee. Not enough support staff to work on those tickets. Yeah, pretty much. Like their system got overloaded with the amount of feedback tickets that they got, and they were angry. That's the takeaway. And they said, stop telling people to send ticket for feedback. But ultimately, the feedback did make it to FromSoft, and keep in mind that, you know, like, AI changes so quickly. That was at a time where AI was just starting with translation. Like, it was not accurate yet. Like, right now, it's actually, like, so good. But it was at a time where it had just started, so it was like one of the first to use like AI translation to translate the vid for feedback in Japanese with like some AI voiceover. and like some Japanese members of the community like basically properly translated the whole vid as well, so there was like a text version of it. So FromSoft got the list in Japanese for every changes, and so that's why most of them got implemented. Like, it was a lot of work to get this true, basically. They angry because they know their game's dog shit? Nah, dude. Like, FromSoft were not the ones that were angry. It was Bandai, because they didn't want to be bothered with it. Like, FromSoft implemented like the vast majority of these changes. Like, you know, like, there's a reason why Storm Stomp Hyper Armor doesn't start at frame 5 anymore, or 4, or whatever it was. You know? Power stance damage that was all over the shop, that was also part of that feedback, you know, like, Hyper Armor startup being, like, instant with Storm Assault, like, that was another one. Like, there was a bunch of things. But, you know, like, with that, they also implemented changes that were not listed that, you know, made the game worse. Like, the lower poise damage on the second hit of swings, that no one really ever asked for that, and that's something they decided to implement on their own, and that really hurt the gameplay overall. So, you know. A good attack there. Run! Run! Oh my god, this game. Actual frame trap. It's lag city here. This guy is lagging. Oh my god, he's not just lagging a little bit, he's lagging a lot. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Okay, this is unplayable. Oh, this guy is so laggy. Holy shit, man. Oh yeah, I don't have my physic anymore. I'm just gonna heal here. This guy's net is so loud. Holy shit, net. This guy is... He's just in a constant state of skipping. Thanks for the help there. McDonald's Wi-Fi for real though, like that is just a terrible connection beyond belief. Like, you cannot fight someone like that. They're constantly skipping. There's no way to dodge their attacks because they're constantly just skipping their attack animation. So you can't react to anything. There's no point in fighting people like that. Best connection on Duskblood, bro. I swear to God, it's probably gonna be like that. Like, you say that, and it's probably gonna be like that, man. Fuck me. Like, what's funny is, like let's not say I was excited, because I'm not, but I was almost excited about Duskblood ever since Gabri bought me a Switch 2. I was almost excited about it. But what you just said now cannot. It just removed any sort of illusion that might have been left about Duskblood. Now, I don't have any hopes whatsoever. Thanks to you. Just a friendly reminder that it's probably gonna be like that. Like you said, like that last fight that we just had, it's probably gonna be Duskblood. Yes. There's a good chance. Here we could easily get killed on the ladder, but fuck it. Okay, they're not there anymore. Let's move up. I got killed by someone waiting, like, on this ladder, just getting a free, like, a free hit from there. And, I mean, it's just, like, ladders in this game are such poor design. Technically, you're never supposed to use them as the invader. Fight. I think the chat overlay on stream is broken. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Thanks, OBS. Actually, I don't think that's OBS. I think that's Stream Element. Stream Element is very bad with this. The overlay, like it works like 2/3 of the time. Blue, we can get an eel, and we keep going. With the blue in there. Gotta kill the blue safely from range. Get some healings. You gonna follow me? Nope. That's the gank. Here, it's going to be one of these where it doesn't actually matter. You're going to have to wait for the spam to end before engaging. There's no plays right now, it's just a bunch of spam. favorite player. And the Darwin Award of the night goes to... Full squad in here. So close. We take that. Close. Okay. Yo, Muda, thanks for the prime resub for 47, man. Really appreciate that. One month left for the 4 years. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Players. Oh, it's Shag. I'm gonna get ganked here. Okay, the guy went up. Oh my god, the lap on this guy is fine. Outplayed and saved. There yet. Start gankers, outplayed and saved. Yo, should have hit there. Latency is so high. Armor through that. This game. Questionable. This guy's nuts too shit. Let's take our time here. This guy's net's so shit. The yellow, I mean. A lot of E-lings here. I don't know if it's my hit or my teammate's hit. Okay, I have one healing. Careful there, bud. Oh, it's the Dung Eater, which is extremely brokenly strong. Need blood to kill him. Do I have the blood? Okay, let's just use that and reset it. Too low on HP to do anything. Like fighting these two scrubs or these two latent scrub earlier took all my heals away. Insane respawn, bro. I'm out of fucking pots. I have one heal at least. Yo, this attack. Okay. There's not enough room to move here. stupid. I love how there's two of them and they're running away, like, fuck. Yo, Goldie, thanks for the resub for 43 months. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate that. And thanks for the raid, Alluvial and Goldie. Thanks a lot, guys. I don't think I'm going to be streaming for long, though. You celebrating your 2-year mod anniversary? Bro, happy birthday. I think since the invasions are starting to be a little rougher, I think we're gonna do the last one with this. We go back a long time? No, it was just last month. I remember, like, not so long ago, I was like, who's Patrick B? It's like, oh, he's a mod here. Huh, interesting. No idea who that is. That's until I realized, you know, like, you change your name for, until I realized you were faded, I actually had no idea for, like, months. And I never asked. It's kind of funny. Players. Let's actually kill this one first. This setup is so busted. Do you think a similar system for invasions in Armored Core would make sense? I mean, you can definitely make it work, but I mean, the way it stands right now, like, Armored Core 6 is not on the trajectory for anything good PvP-wise. They go back to Verdict Day, like, I'm gonna be honest. I think the formula that they had in Verdict Day with the 4v4 with the map with the defenses set by one team, I think that was genius. I love that. That was amazing. I don't think invasions would be more fun than that. For Armored Core, obviously. Like, you have to keep in mind, in Armored Core Verdict Day, you were sort of invading. Like, there was territory on the map, and you could, like, invade other territories. And the way it worked is, like, the other team would get an alert, and they'd have a, you know, like, a few minutes to prepare. And then, like, you'd fight on enemy territory. And what that means is, like, the territory had a bunch of defense that were set up prior to the match starting. They were set up, you know, by the team that was defending the territory. So you would be basically fighting another team on top of a bunch of defenses that you had to deal with. And so the attacking side or the invading side was at a massive disadvantage to start with. And so there was like a whole strategy around like fighting around these territory defenses. Like, for instance, like a popular strat for the defenses would be to have like massive laser sniper cannons in the back, so that like you fight on the front line and the enemy has to deal with constant like massive lasers that can basically like let's say they can like kill you in, I don't know, 6 shots or whatever, which is a big deal. Like, that's very dangerous, and there's like, let's say 4 of them that you have to deal with. And so like you have to fight a team of 4 while managing these massive like lasers in the back that are extremely dangerous and that stun you for a while on top of that. And so there's no other way but to play around these. So like one of the strat, for instance, was you basically like grab a weapon that's useless in PvP. It's like a sniper cannon where you need to sit still in order to shoot it, but it's like the longest range weapon in the entire game. And you basically use that, and as you spawn, you aim that big sniper specifically just for those defenses, and then you purge it. And so you're basically wasting an entire weapon slot for the whole match just to destroy the defenses. And then you proceed to fight with basically one less weapon than your opposition. And so like that was one of the strat, for instance. But on the other hand, maybe the other team didn't have these big sniper cannons in the back. Maybe they had a bunch of small defenses that were like massive health pool defenses, close range shotguns, or missiles, like small missile launchers behind cover. And so like when you have the whole field covered with little missile launchers, it's unpractical to use that sniper cannon to destroy it. First of all, you don't see most of them, and second, it would take too long. And so let's say you were going in that fight with that sniper cannon, well, you would have wasted your weapon choice, because it would have been completely useless for the whole fight. And so you would have been forced to purge a weapon, so play with one less weapon than everyone else for no reason, with no benefit. So there was quite a significant and interesting dynamic with how you play around the defenses. Like another strat, like some strats sometimes that we would employ would be to, like, the whole group, because it's a 4v4, like our whole group just overboost as fast as we can all the way through. Like we go, let's say, to a side of the map, and we boost as fast as we can to the other end of the map to basically try to sneak in behind their defenses and start the fight from there. And the reason why you do that is most of the time the defenses are engineered or placed in a way to advantage a fight on the front line, not a fight that comes from the other side of the map. So that was like one of the strategy that we would sometimes employ. Or another strategy would be simple, like you try to pick as many defenses as you can, like pop in and out, try to take as little damage as possible without engaging, to like sort of like set the field a little bit better for when you start engaging. And so there was a bunch of strategies around it, but technically that's what the invading team was doing. It was still a 4v4, but you know, if you had to compare it to Souls, it would be basically like you play in the arena 4v4 and one team has some PvE on their side, you know? Like, you can see how significant of a difference that can make. But yeah, best PvP game I think I've ever played was Armored Core Verdict Day. And I mean, I played, you know, like... I played some competitive games, you know, I played like Rainbow Six Vegas 2 competitively, like won championships and shit. Like, Armored Core Verdict Day is the real deal, or was the real deal. Now it's dated, like it's been like 15, 20 years since that game came out, but it was very good. Sounds a lot more thought out than just adding an invader to the world. I mean, you have to keep in mind, Armored Core Verdict Day was the first game that I know of where the game was focused around PvP for FromSoft. So like the whole game, you could play it single player, no problem, but there was a whole system around PvP, and it was extremely well designed, and it was based around team fights. And so it was really based around 4v4 team fights. And what was good also about this particular Armored Core is skilled mattered a lot. Build mattered a lot, and skilled mattered a lot. Like, basically, you would never win against a better player than you in a 1v1. Like, the better player would pretty much always win. But when you did team fights, whoever was the better player didn't really matter, because it was all about communication and team strategy above all else. And so you could beat teams that were way better individually just by playing like smarter and with strategy. And that's what made it so amazing, is that it was skillful on every level, and especially on the brain side. That's what was so amazing about it. I cannot say enough good things about it. In fact, I probably would have kept playing this game for a long time if the servers didn't shut down. And obviously it was also a niche game. Like, you know, this came at a time where the Armored Core franchise was not as big as it is now. Like, obviously, you know, when Armored Core 6 came out, it was very popular because it rode the success of Elden Ring. What? And frostbots, let's go with that. There you go. Let's try this. He saved them. Oh my god, I did not expect that. I don't even think he did that on purpose. Can't get the finish. Starting to play sloppy. It's probably gonna be my last one. Oh, there you go, finally. Alright guys, last one. That's it. That's enough for me tonight. I was playing really bad in that last invasion. I think I'm starting to get tired. But we did reach our 3-hour mark, so I think that's fine. Alright guys, thanks everyone for coming by the stream again. Really appreciate it. You know, it's always so much more enjoyable to have you guys in chat, you know, just talking about whatever. Always more fun that way. In MGS5, there's a game mode where you can invade another player's base, steal their resources. Yeah, I actually played... Dude, I played MGS5 for probably like over 1,000 hours. I never finished the PvE. In fact, I barely did any mission. And I never played the mode you're describing. I only did like actual PvP match. Like, you know, like objectives, team deathmatch, that sort of stuff. I only played that. Alright guys, have a good night. I'll catch you guys up later. Take care guys. Let's raid. We have any night owls? Elden Ring night owls? No, I was the last one. Alright, we're gonna raid JeeNiNe. Super chill dude. Love JeeNiNe. Such a great guy. Alright, take care guys. Have a good one. Whoops, I forgot to enter the raid command. That's how tired I am, guys. Oh boy.